Ant-Man and the Wasp work with Hank Pym to retrieve Janet Van Dyne from the quantum realm. When I first heard that Ant-Man and the Wasp was on its way as the 20th film in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, MCU, and the sequel to Ant-Man 2015, I didn't expect it to be a game changer. Instead, I walked into this film with a sense of curiosity about where it would fit within the broader MCU timeline, especially following the epicness of Avengers Infinity War. After watching, I have to say, it's a refreshing experience, but also one that doesn't quite reach the heights of other MCU entries. What stands out the most in Ant-Man and the Wasp is its lighthearted tone. Paul Rudd as Scott Lang, Ant-Man, brings an effortless charm to the film. He embodies the underdog superhero who's just trying to do the right thing, even if it means messing things up along the way. Rudd's humor and relatability continue to be a strong foundation for this film. He's not your typical superhero. He's flawed, down to earth, and perpetually finds himself in hilariously awkward situations. That's what makes his performance so enjoyable. Evangeline Lilly's portrayal of Hope Van Dyne, the Wasp, also adds a fresh dynamic. She balances strength and vulnerability in a way that complements Rudd's more goofy and laid-back approach. The chemistry between Rudd and Lilly works, though at times it feels forced, particularly in the romantic beats, which seem to have developed more off-screen than on. Beyond the lead performances, the humor and levity of the film are what kept me engaged. The comedy doesn't always hit perfectly. Sometimes it dilutes more emotional moments. But for the most part, the film's wit and fun spirit create a refreshing break from the otherwise high-stakes MCU landscape. The action sequences in Ant-Man and the Wasp are another high point. The use of size-changing mechanics, characters shrinking to insect size and then back to normal, creates a unique viewing experience. The scenes are inventive and bring a sense of novelty that other superhero films can't quite replicate. The sequences involving Ghost, a character who can phase through walls and objects, are particularly intriguing. However, I couldn't help but feel that Ghost, as an antagonist, was a missed opportunity. There was potential for a truly compelling, sympathetic villain, but the film falls short in fully realizing that. One of my main criticisms of Ant-Man and the Wasp is that it suffers from an overabundance of antagonists. Between Ghost, the FBI agents, the Walton Goggins criminal character, there's a bit too much going on. The inclusion of these various groups seems more like a plot device to create diverse action sequences rather than to develop a cohesive narrative. The subplot involving Goggins feels especially out of place, and his character seems to exist purely to add some non-lethal threats to the chase scenes. It's an element that could have been streamlined to allow more focus on the quantum realm, which is only teased but never deeply explored. While enjoyable, I can't help but categorize Ant-Man and the Wasp as a filler film in the MCU. It serves as a palate cleanser, especially after the intense events of Infinity War, but doesn't substantially move the larger narrative forward. It feels like a bridge to connect Ant-Man to future MCU installments rather than a story that stands on its own. Ultimately, Ant-Man and the Wasp is a fun and entertaining ride that keeps you laughing and engaged, but it doesn't strive to be much more than that.
Its light tone, clever action sequences, and strong performances make it worth a watch, especially if you need a break from the more serious MCU fare.
But for those looking for a deeper connections or substantial progression in the MCU storyline, this one might feel a bit of a detour. That's my opinion on Ant-Man and the Wasp. Do you agree with my thoughts? What are your thoughts on the film? Let me know in the comments. Please drop a like and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in the next video.
What did happen to the last 10? I ran away with my life, fast forward, never turn back again. It's kind of funny that the more we pass time, the more we need to set them rewind. And 19 was the year I had to leave you, but now I'm seeing all the signs. Is this